Hi, my name's Courtney Grosser, and for the children's book picture book analysis, I did The Spider and the Fly, originally a poem written in 1829 by Mary Howitt, and the illustrations are redone by Tony D. Terlizzi. This is Arizona, and she'll be helping me with my presentation. The overall message, I think, the book was written to warn children about the dangers of talking to strangers, and oftentimes good manners and kind words are deceiving, and they can get into trouble. Visual elements that I used, I think, add to the powerful message that's already presented. The illustrations, I think, induce emotions by the use of dark color. There's no color, it's all grayscale, and the size and spacing of the illustrations. And the literary device I found was the author's use of style and tone, so the language that was used. I'll start by saying I found this book a week ago, or a week and a half ago, whenever we had to pick the first, and I was drawn to the front cover just because the unusual white spider font, and I'll show you the grayscale illustrations. So it's not like the usual happy-go-lucky children's book that we, I remember growing up with. So my favorite, I'll show you my favorite picture, and then we'll move on. So grayscale, kind of creepy, to say the least. Kind of creepy. So the next one is the size and spacing. I think the illustrator's overall goal was to make the spider look, 8 times the size of this fly. So in the first picture, picture of the story, you can see the spider is significantly larger than the fly. And this is done throughout the entire book. Every picture that has both of them in it. So this one, the spider and the fly, significantly larger. He's taking up significant more space than the fly is. I think the author does that just to show maybe his power and how controlling he is. It's based on his size. So I think that was done on purpose. I think I got one more. Yeah, look at his legs and his body compared to the fly. And that's like bugs, and it's realistic, but also a creative twist just to show his power. The next one, I guess I'll show you the literary element that I found. I think the author uses a different language to show how sly and cunning that the spider is. First he says, the opening line, famous first line, "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. I think he's changing what he's saying. He's saying parlor, but I'm thinking he means spider web. So he refers to it as a parlor, which removes all negative connotations of a spider web, and masking the actual outcome of being trapped in the spider web and being eaten. So death and dying. He changes it to parlor, which is simply a place where people dine, people eat and drink, and nothing bad happens. So now for the assumptions, as I finish up this paper, I'm still torn as to whether I'm trying to prove it or disprove it. It could go either way. So as I'm finishing, I think I might write about proving it and disproving it, just because I can't make up my mind. The one I went with was children are emotionally vulnerable, easily upset, and often permanently damaged by exposure to ugly or painful matters. They respond to evil by having nightmares. Personally, I think this book is rather creepy. And even I'm 21 and I still think it's creepy. I read it for myself, and I found a link on YouTube of somebody reading it. And it's super, super creepy, especially if you read it in like a strange voice. But I honestly think it kind of proves it, just because for me personally, as a young child, this probably would have upset me, and I probably would have had nightmares. And for certain kids, they're going to be fine. So it kind of proves it, kind of disproves it. Still kind of torn.